Hello everyone, this is Tim Perfect from Tucano Software, and I want to share with you some of the things I've been working on with MDS and some new discoveries that we found with the M1 Apple Silicon Macs. I've implemented MDS to work with the M1s in earlier betas, but we've changed the way that it works, and I kind of give you an opportunity to actually see how this new system works. Before, it was kind of split up into 3 different methodologies depending on the state of the machine. We've done away with all of that. So now when you set up a Mac, you can use a single workflow on an M1 Mac or on an Intel Mac and be able to completely reinstall the OS and set it up. So let me show you a demo of how it works with this M1 MacBook Air I have here and this external drive that I have an MDS workflow on it. So the first thing I'll do is I'll boot up into recovery. So it's actually started up right now, so I will just hold the power button down and turn off the machine and then boot it into recovery. So this process is exactly the same for both a new out-of-the-box Mac if you have or one that's been configured like this one has. So I'll press and hold the power button and this will boot into One True Recovery or recovery for the M1 Macs. Okay, it says loading startup options, so I'll let that go and I'll go ahead and plug in this flash drive or the USB SSD drive. Okay, I get options, so I'll select options and continue to the One True Recovery. And once it boots into that, I will launch an MDS workflow and you'll see exactly what happens. But really what it's geared towards is being able to start from a known state. So let me just run our workflow just like we always do, /volume/MDS/run. It'll run the workflow we called MDS deploy. And it comes up and I select my workflow and the drive. My drive is called Mac Zoom and my workflow is called Pico. So I'll run this and I'll click OK. And it'll ask me my computer name and I'll just put in some garbage because it's going to fail. It says the disk isn't empty. So the first thing you need to do is erase not just the drive, but erase this Mac. So it jumps into disk utility and I'll just select Mac Zoom and I'll hit erase and I'll click on erase volume group. And it'll say, do you want to erase this Mac? And I'll say, yes, indeed, I do want to erase this Mac. And what that does is that does a full wipe of this. If you have a brand new Mac out of the box, you don't have to do it this way, but you can do it this way. It won't affect it at all. And one of the nice things is if you have File Vault enabled as well, it will allow you to, if you don't know the password for that File Vault user, you can just erase the Mac. So all of these workflows happen the same way, or setting up the Mac happens the same way for all of the different scenarios. So it's finished erasing the Mac now. It's erased the drive, and you'll notice it'll start booting up, and then it will chime, and the chime will be cut off. The speaker's not on, but you can see that the Apple logo just bounced there for 1 second. Then it'll go right back into the One True Recovery. You don't have to hold anything. It'll just do that for you. Once we get back into One True Recovery, we'll go ahead and launch MDS again, and it will go ahead and launch the workflow or MDS deploy. Okay, so it's back into recovery system. Oh, it does ask you to activate the Mac because you did erase it. So that's an operation we need to do. I don't have Ethernet plugged in here, so I need to connect this up. If I had Ethernet plugged in, which is very common, it would just proceed right through the activation and go right to the recovery utilities. But since I'm on Wi-Fi here, I need to select the Wi-Fi network. But it'll go ahead and activate this Mac, and then I'll go ahead and launch MDS deploy as a next step. So the Mac is completely wiped at this point. There's nothing on the hard drive, which is exactly the scenario that we want. So we can start preparing the Mac for completely restoring. So we'll go to back to the recovery tools. Go back to the MDS deploy. It's launched again. There we go. And this time, you'll notice that the drive is called Untitled and the workflow is still Pico because when the drive is erased, it's untitled now. So I'll click on Run Workflow. And what it does, ask me for a computer name, so I'll call this one Mac Zoomer with an extra O because it's extra special. And what it does here, this is what the interesting part is, what it does is it copies, it creates a couple of files so the macOS installer thinks that it's an existing macOS that's on there, and it copies the packages to be installed with the script that will run at first boot that allows those packages to be installed. And then it will copy over the installer to the target partition. And the reason we do that is because when the installer gets launched, we don't have to keep that flash drive or that USB drive plugged in. We can simply pull it out and then go on to the next machine and keep doing it. So it's done. You notice the dialog says Open Installer. So the next step, so we'll click on Open Installer, and it'll launch the macOS installer. And you can see it launches here, and I just go 4 clicks. 1, 2, 3. I select the drive and 4 clicks. And I have to be connected to power. That is unfortunate, but luckily I have power right here. And there we go. You don't actually need that if you are above 50%. I just have not been having this one plugged in, so it didn't have this. So now the installer is going to go ahead and install, and it's going to put whatever version of that macOS that I have the installer selected from the workflow editor or from inside of MDS when I created the workflow. In this case, it's 11.3 beta, but it could be a full version of 11.3 or even the 11.4 beta that's out right now. So this gives us a lot of flexibility where you can determine by wiping it and then installing whichever version that you want to. It's very similar to how we deployed the Intel version. And it's very similar times as well. So we're, with the Intel Macs, be able to wipe it and then reinstall. The whole process took about 22 minutes to 26 minutes, depending on the speed of the drive and the number of packages you installed. For this system, you notice that it probably took me 2 or 3 minutes to kind of race the Mac and get up to that point. And then we can, then this will run, and we've done time trials. It takes about 15 minutes from that last click till it's done. But the nice thing is once I'm done right now, so I can unplug this drive. I don't need to have the drive plugged in anymore. I can remove this and go on to the next one. This machine's done. I can go on to the next one, and this one will boot to the setup assistant and then install the packages, reboot, and go right to the login window, and it's fully configured. And so this is not an Intel Mac. This is an M1 Mac, and we're able to do that in the same exact configuration. Earlier builds of MDS required you to know the username and password, or it would, or have it new out of the box. It didn't require that, but we've done away with all that. It made it very simple. The one thing that I will note is that if you do want to use the existing Mac OS that's on the drive, you can still do that. You can just install the packages and that'll work fine. But you have to know the state of the machine, like what version of Mac OS it is. So if you just received 500 Macs that are at 11.3 and that's fine, you can do a workflow that way. But if you have a bunch of Macs that either resetting up or they're coming brand new and you're not sure what version's on them, by all means use the erase Mac and then run the workflow, and it will, and the installer will go on top of it, and then it'll boot right into the login window. So I'll let that run, and when that's finished, I'll come back and kind of talk a bit about how the machine is set up. All right, so the macOS installer is completed. It's at the setup assistant now, waiting for the to select the region or country, and we'll wait just for about 30 seconds. And at that point, all the packages will have been installed for the macOS, and then it'll reboot. Oh, see, there it goes. Usually right when it starts talking about the built-in screen reader, that's about the amount of time it takes for the number of packages to be installed. It might be longer for you or shorter depending on what number of packages you have. For me, I'm just installing, I believe, a couple of browsers, Firefox or maybe just Chrome. And I also creating users, getting the setup assistant, turning on SSH, remote access, and I'll show you that that's all been configured without having to touch this, and the OS has been erased and installed from scratch. So I'm going to go ahead and log in, and it takes a second because it has to create the home directory on this first login for this first user, so that initial login takes a little bit more time. You will notice in the upper right hand corner, I don't know if you can see it, but the Wi-Fi has been connected. So that's one of the things that we had in our workflow was to join Wi-Fi. And I'm getting the spinning wheel now, and so it is logging in to this setup account, and it should put me right to the Finder. I did install a 11.3 beta, I believe, so it's going to prompt me for the feedback, but that won't happen if you have a yep, here we go, feedback assistant. So I'll close that, and you can see that if I go into applications, there's Firefox, and I have Google Chrome on here as well. And then if I go into system preferences, I can see that I have under sharing, I've got screen sharing turned on and remote logins turned on as well. So this is a fully configured M1 Mac. Basically reinstalled the OS and wiped it, reinstalled the OS, and put packages down on it. It had an existing user, but I didn't know the username and password, or never had to enter that username and password in to be able to do it. So this is a great way to be able to walk up to any Mac and be able to erase it and reset down the OS and do any customizations you want. If we had not skipped the setup assistant, we of course could enroll in if DEP was enabled. We could have opted into remote management, and even we can do auto advance if we wanted to. So all that capabilities there as well if you are pairing MDS with an MDM. So thanks very much for watching. Make sure that you, if you want to support the project, you can buy support. You can check out all the options by going to twocanoes.com/MDS. And also join our Mac Admin Slack channel. That's where a lot of this activity and a lot of the kind of the discussions around MDS happen. And be sure to check back for more of these videos. So thank you very much for watching.